Alright guys, welcome back. Guys and girls, I guess. Welcome back to another Discord League cast. We have Lion versus Scorpion in a round of 32 match. This is going to be Grody versus RumHam. And I actually have special guest Bill Jr., sorry, casting with me, who is the highest rated Lion on the Discord server and definitely one of the bastions of the cats.
Hi, hi.
And so, taking a look at the deck list here, we have this pretty awesome anti-Scorpion Lion deck is what I'm gonna call it. It's definitely very rough, like it doesn't feel very tuned, but the idea is nice.
Oh yeah, the three above question, three voice of honor, three censure. It just makes playing events really hard, and when the Scorpion deck is all events, it's a pretty good thing to be
Yep.
on that.
And so pretty much that we see a little bit of a kind of a tall guy Lion strategy, like kind of what Tenor was doing, where we see EG, Sashimono guard duty, and then he's got a lot less low drops. Like he's playing one Akodo Toshiro.
This concept's great. I just think the numbers are a little bit off. Like having a Sashimono in your deck just gives you access to ridiculously powerful things to do, which is great. But I think running three is probably greedy.
It's probably one or two is probably the correct number.
Yeah, I can see two if you really want it and you think you can stick it. I personally run one, but my solution to every card is to run one, so that might not be correct.
Well, you can run one, you can run two, and then it's a little bit easier to protect a Sashimono with 6 cancels.
Yeah, the cancels definitely make it work. People are only running 3 to 5 event cancels in their deck at most generally. So if you have one or two event cancels and you stick a high impact Sashimono on an Honor Toturi, you just get to win the game.
Pretty much. And then we see RumHam here is literally copied Irish Kote winners list. Pretty much no innovation. It's Chris's list. So not really going to talk about it too much. Chris Frotop, also known as Sir Largeness, has done a lot of videos on it. So just going to let them go ahead.
Yeah, I think this deck has evolved and optimized a little more from here, so it's a little outdated, but it's a good shell.
It's pretty much what most people are playing. Some of the other lists don't, or some of the other lists have added bonsai to add some speed to it, but this is pretty much what Chris was playing.
I think one time 1x Kachiko is correct. I think they found, and probably one times mono is probably better.
Yeah, I think
And
one
then a
times
couple
mono is probably
bonsais
better.
in there, and I think it's a much more dangerous deck.
I think 1x Kachiko is greedy in that list because you just don't have any other ways to break provinces.
Yeah, you have to play a couple bonsais. I think Ornate fans, there's no reason not to play him in the current environment. It's too easy sometimes when you look at a conflict and say, okay, there's no way they can increase their strength here at all.
Yeah, we
I'll
actually just played a match and you were doing a poke attack and I'm just like, okay, there's just no way you can break this. The deck you were playing had no katanas or bonsais. I'm like, all right, cool, I'm safe.
Yeah.
And so it's just one of those things that it's like the threat. It's kind of like in Magic. There's this concept of threat of activation where you can basically force your opponent to react because on board or in hand you could have something that could blow them out basically.
Yeah, these sorts of decks are so much more deadly when you don't have open deck lists. In a Swiss of a Kote, just showing Scorpion, people are going to be afraid of every single card. And so you just get away with it. But once you have open deck lists and people know how to play against it, it's a little different.
This kind of list has also become a little bit popular, so I think if I saw someone's hand, I could generally deduce what they were doing, or I would maybe play like they were doing something until they showed me something different. But, I mean, it doesn't matter if you deduce all that stuff. All you have to do is make sure you find something wrong your opponent did and wait till after the match.
Well, Scorpions flopped a one-drop courtier, so they have a good flop.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to see Manipulator pass. Probably. He might buy the room.
Standard.
He could buy the Rumor Monger, but I doubt it.
We hit a keeper with Satoshi, that's nice.
Yeah, in his earlier match, he milled he had like all 3 keepers online like super early. Like I think I was like by turn 2.
I had a game in groups against a crab where my initial flop was keeper, 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 spirit caller.
Did you keep it?
No, no, that was my flop after mulligan.
Oh, what
Like
did
I kept a single keeper and mulled 3
you
and
did
got
you just
keeper,
buy
keeper,
the
spirit.
spirit color?
I sure did. And
Did
she stood there and won a favor.
Oh, okay.
I just
I was gonna say
ate it on my conflicts.
you didn't get way of the crab.
I think they bought like Casada.
Oh,
And
okay, sure, sure. Feels a lot better then.
yeah, the earlier you get keepers, the stronger they are.
Another thing to note here is that I know that Chris's deck has a really hard time breaking Ancestral Land, and by that I mean it's virtually impossible.
You need like an honored Kachiko.
An honored Shochu and your opponent to have no characters. Like, it's so hard.
To break it on pull, it's almost impossible.
So
With like a Yunako Heroi combo thing, you might be able to do it with a bunch for shames.
we're gonna see
Way
a
worse than
Berserker
that.
come in here. I'm almost certain this is going to. Oh, cool! Handsome Dan's in the chat. Hey, what's up, boy? Yeah, he might stand Satoshi to try and win favor. Oh, Lion runs into Secret Cache first attack. Definitely not what you want to see. I think ideally you want to hit Meditations and then leave it there.
Meditations or Pilgrimage would both be fine here.
Yeah, Lion can threaten the break on Pilgrimage pretty easily, especially with stuff like Legion of One. Although with stuff interesting that challenges fire here. What do you think about that? He's trying to turn on Voice of Honor maybe?
Turns on Voice of Honor, gives you your keeper, allows you to not commit Satoshi to a conflict where he's just going to get fate worse than death. I'd like it a lot more if Satoshi had 2 fate on him, because the counter void is a little too risky for my
Yeah,
taste.
Grody's only playing one conflict character, a 1x Angel's Crone.
If he wins this and can honor Satoshi, though, and has Voice of Honors, he might be just fine.
Yeah, I agree. Got the
Between
like
Assassinate, Fury,
y-
the gig's up here, you can form it.
2 is. Oh yeah, okay. So we see Charge, Censure, Forgotten Glory. So 2 Censures, Sashimono. There's the Voice. There's a Court Games.
See, this is where like you'd really like that Sashimoto to be just about anything else. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. What do you think about this? So Grody's not playing Bonsai. He's playing Legion of One, and he's down to 1x Way of the Lion. Like I feel like instead of some Sashimonos and like cut a Legion of One, just play 3 Bonsais.
Pretty much. I like playing 1 or 2 legions. It's a fine card,
Yeah, I agree. It's sick for like single defenses also.
but it's like after you have your 3 bonsais and 3 Way of the Lions and a couple katanas, then you look at legions
Agreed.
because all those are strictly better.
Alright, so this is the nice part about Lion here is that you don't have to commit any more cards to the conflict to threaten. You just have to activate your Stronghold.
It's why Berserker is one of the best 1-drops in the game, even though its text box is blank.
Probably the 3rd best one, right? Like I think it's just worse than Doomed and Liar.
I would agree.
Like I definitely I think like the dash, like it's just firmly number 3 also. The dash on Paul like cements it.
Yeah, no policy debate. No getting dragged in by Heroin.
See,
Whatnot.
charge Actress. Oh, and because Satoshi fired, Actress can actually bring in
Berserker of his own.
Well, he could bring in Gifted Tactician, and then if he has a Fury, he can replace the card.
That would be sick as well.
We do know that Lion has a charge of his own, so we'll see how Lion wants to play this. I think I pass here if I'm Grody. Yeah, nice.
Yes.
That's the
Take the
strong
small
pass.
win if the Scorpion will let you have it. You don't commit anything more until you need to. The Scorpion's on like 4 cards or less. You don't go ham.
Yeah,
Wow.
and so Grody wins the
Gives it to him.
conflict. Maybe he doesn't realize there's a keeper in there. So if Grody wants it, he can just stand that keeper for favor the whole round, which I think he should. Or Satoshi, either one, just stand there for favor.
I'm curious what Scorpion has in hand that he just let that go through. Did he not have any Fury, any Assassinate?
I think reasonably he just didn't realize there was a keeper in the graveyard. I think if he knew there was a keeper there, you just shouldn't.
I mean, I think the first thing you do when you buy an actress is you click on their graveyard, or probably even before you put an actress into play. Either way, it's a great conflict win for Lion. Anytime you get to win your military conflicts, you're going to snowball and gain incremental advantage. Jackie on board with a good chance to secure favor is a scary thing as well.
Yeah, especially with above question, right? Like above question on Ujiaki allows you to dodge Fate Worse Than Death, which is kind of his downfall against Scorpion. We see Yojimbo come down here. Probably challenge Void if I had to guess. Military Void.
Yep.
If he hits Feast or Famine here. So it's really awkward that he hits the 4 Strength province here, because the Scorpion player can't break. Oh no, he has Actress. Never mind. Interesting that the key for defense... Oh, he's got Legion of 1 in his hand.
Does he?
Yeah, I believe so.
I know he has Charge. Censure for Grody.
Oh no, he doesn't.
Censure, Duelist Training.
Why would you defend here then? So just based on your hand, your opponent, and no, like just what's on board, you're gonna suffer the break here. The Actress is gonna pull the Gifted Tactician.
See, he can get up to 6. So if he wants to survive this, he has to charge something in. So maybe he did the math, charge in Magistrate. 6 to 3 would be the end result if he actresses in a Berserker for his high strength he can get to.
Apparently the chess clocks have been implemented, but I haven't tried them yet. So Jadiel is asking, so we'll have to do that like tomorrow or something.
Definitely. I'll get on testing that for him as well.
Yeah.
Pulled Tactician, so now we have to see a charge. Unless he wants to let it break. Personally, I would have not defended, let it break. I'd rather they be forced to hit Feast or Famine, Shameful Display, or Art of War on any future attack. So they have to really question if they want to try to break another province.
Yeah. So what do you think about chess clocks? So we've been talking about timing stuff. What do you think about chess clocks that that only count up, and then if you get to X time above your opponent, you lose? So that way it allows for untimed matches while still making people play at slightly, a slightly reasonable pace. Like say 30 minutes or something.
I think that could be pretty reasonable.
Right, I think that's a little bit. I
think
like
you need a stipulation as well that it only is relevant above a certain minimum amount of time, so you don't have somebody just blitzing and forcing the other person to
30
blitz
minutes
as well.
30 minutes is a long time.
It is a long time.
If it's 30 minutes, then that means like you've taken 30 more minutes than your opponent in a match, and you probably deserve to lose.
Well, the thing is too is your opponent can think while you're thinking, and if you're just more experienced.
Well, I don't know how the chess clocks are working, but on Magic Online, for instance, when you pass priority, it stops your clock.
Right. But I could see something of like 15 minutes to 45 minutes. And that's still only an hour game.
Maybe. Well, currently the chess clocks are implemented as normal chess clocks, where when you pass priority, they stop. Hopefully, we're not sure yet.
We did see the charge.
He just
Stop the
charges to
break.
prevent the break, basically.
Yeah.
So is he just gonna stand here then for favor? He should.
He's going for an attack.
Probably if we were gonna do.
Water?
Well, he has Voice of Honor now, so he's a little bit safe. But the problem is if he gets Furied here, he's gonna lose favor.
I think if there was Fury, it would have happened first conflict. I don't like that he's scouting. I would have rather gone at cash again since it's already fired off.
Yeah, agreed. And now we see the problem here. He runs into Shameful. I think if we do normal chess clocks, 45-minute clocks is probably correct.
I agree.
But like for instance, the match between Gode and Eric today was about 2 hours of gameplay, but both players were playing pretty briskly, and it was a pretty sick game. So like, the main issue is that it's just like people who abuse the no time limit situation and take forever to think.
A really risky greedy play, especially with 2 centers in hand.
And yeah, two centers and the Voice of Honor.
So, Shameful fires, we see court games to re-honor, for shame, dishonor, and any court games or for shame will win it. Fury. Huh.
I'm very surprised that he didn't Fury the firing.
Maybe he doesn't have an edict in hand and didn't want a charge to happen?
Maybe? I don't know, there's not even a good charge target, so probably going to get a political Earth here. And then he uncovers the Shameful.
And this is where having the standing keeper would be nice. Well, at least he lost the censure. It's going to be dead next turn. I think with some different lines, this could have been a much more impactful turn for Lion, but all in all, it's not too heavily skewed in either direction. Scorp has slight fate and hand advantage, and slight board, but nothing crippling in any direction. No provinces broken either way. I'm going to predict an AG with 3 fate.
I could see that. He flips the Palace too on Shameful really strong. You think he'll play EG instead of Brawler?
I think so, going second. I probably would. Especially since AG can bring out Brawler.
Well, she's just going to get coverted on mill, right? And then it's going to be a mill attack first.
The nice thing about Lion is you don't mind too much when your impactful cards end up in your graveyard.
That's fair.
Oh, no. 1 LPB. I don't think I'll be able to predict Grody's moves.
Oh, okay. JDL just suggested to me that if you can implement that kind of chess clock, he would have them both count down still, and then when it's your opponent's turn, yours would count up. And if you ever hit 0, you lose. It's the exact same concept, except it just makes you don't have to like look at the clocks to see the difference in time. It's just if you hit 0, then that means you took X amount of time longer. That's pretty sick, actually.
Both players still bidding 5 as the honor pool is high.
I don't foresee it changing any one way or the other, right? Unless Scorpion wants to go.
Until we see some more UOs, air rings, assassinations. Converting the keeper. So as Grody, I think I'd have 2 goals this turn. Well, 3. Win favor with Palace. Poke with the keeper to find meditations or pilgrimage. Either way, you find both.
Sure.
And to keep the LPB on the board for next turn. I think if Grody can do 2 of those 3 things, he'll be okay. If he does 3 out of 3, he should have a really strong next turn as first player with tempo.
So with mill favor, we see the Scorpion player being able to threaten the break.
Contesting fire, interesting. I'm fine with defending here. Honor totals are high. And the game will go a pretty long time if you don't give up breaks. "13 cards in hand, I'm pretty sure we'll see a let go or calling in favors on that.
I agree. He has access to 2 of each.
For now, he's fine taking the small win. I would happily spend a card as Lion here to force the issue. Ooh.
Is that a Sashimono? It is. This is aggressive. If there's a calling in favors here, you just take the Sashimono now, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Then you get to attack on covert with your guy again.
It's like the above question was gently asking if he had attachment hate. The Sashimono was like screaming at him. Do you have it?
Are you not entertained?
This can stick, though. Yeah, no. There's a call in favors. Interesting choice to honor Outcast instead of dishonor Keeper to blanket. Dishonoring Keeper would also make it even with Lion Stronghold. It would still be a 0/0, so we'd have to invest a card in either a political or military poke to even have force. This does make Voice of Honor more difficult to turn on, though.
That's true.
Scorpion, however, has no courtier on board. Does his list run Censure?
Scorpion does not have censure.
Oh. Grody does not play Assassinate.
There you go.
Well, there goes my thought about that being a very vulnerable play to Assassination with no courtier on board, but it doesn't exist. Contesting water instead of void.
He's gonna force the keeper to block, basically. Or keeper's
It's
gonna get
covered.
converted, yeah.
So it'll force him to have ready for battle.
Is he playing ready for battle? I would imagine so, but...
Yeah, he plays 3x.
Okay.
So it's counter spells 7 through 9 effectively against Scorpion.
Yeah.
Well, he keeps Palace. He keeps both Fate on his Brawler. Didn't get the poke, so 2 out of 3.
So
I
he's
still like
still getting favor,
Lion's
right?
position.
Yeah, Lion's position ends up being really strong here. The above question not being stolen actually allows the brawler to attack safely.
I mean, massive Fate disadvantage, but
That's to be expected, I think.
you got Nujiaki on board. You have Censure in hand. You have For Greater Glory in hand. You can make very, very disgusting things happen. I found myself taking military favor against Scorpion as Lion almost every time.
Really, you wanna kind of talk about that?
I think it just makes. Sorry, eating chips. I think it makes their military easy to commit slightly less to and still be able to win, especially when Scorpion can potentially bow literally everything.
That's fair.
And second, it makes their weakness even more pronounced. So when they poke with a military attack, once their characters are 1 or 2 strength, so by blocking with a 1 or 2 strength character yourself, you're already winning, and they have to commit cards to even threaten to take a ring effect against you on an attack.
That's fair.
One thing Scorpion could do that would be sick this turn is set up a big mono Noraware. It's already very impactful just with the board as is.
That's true.
And I think he is with no Fate on that rumor monger.
That does feel like what it is.
It's difficult to decide a ring in Grody's situation here. The rings that are faded don't feel impactful or relevant in this current board and hand situation.
What do you think about Grody not buying the Ujiaki here? Do you think he's got to charge them?
Yeah, I think he'll rely on charge for it, and if he can't get the charge, he says, oh well, he still has the palace and will have another chance to Ujiaki.
He still has the he has a For Greater Glory in his hand, and he has double censure, so he can force this through if he wants.
I like that he has no fear for the meditations on this attack.
I think he might smell the mono also, so he might not care. But he does have to counter it if he goes for Greater Glory. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, Handsome Dan. Yeah, you're right. Only one censure, but he does have the censure indeed. There's the Cloud the Mind. Interesting that Scorpion doesn't try and Cloud the Mind Ujiaki when he comes.
He could very easily have the second. He's drawn more than half his deck.
He could have it, but he doesn't necessarily have it. Like, it's pretty reasonable for him not necessarily to have it.
I would actually prefer to favorable ground out the brawler before charging into jockey, just to make his flip better.
Oh, that's fair. I actually think that's really good.
You miss out on the For Greater Glory on the brawler, but no, there's a second cloud.
Really kind of stifling this play here. Is that a duelist training? Why would you put it there? I find that interesting.
The brawler has fate; it'll last longer.
That's fair, but I mean, you don't really need the duelist training, do you? I guess he doesn't. He's not playing Bonds. I keep forgetting.
I think it is unnecessary. I think I would just rather stronghold, go up to 8 to 5, threaten break, without investing cards.
Yeah.
And I certainly, unless I'm positive I'll get a break, favorable ground to jockey out for a strong political attack or defense. It becomes very difficult to predict action with 15 cards in Scorpion Sands.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's take a look at his deck. What cards does he have? Okay, all of these. Now we see the line Stronghold to threaten break. And finally, Scorpion will have to commit something to this fight. Probably most likely of Miyamoto's Fury.
Most likely. But then Ready for Battle is reasonable for him to have, at least.
Wow. So we see Fury, Edict, well, Fury Censure, Edict Censure. – 」 – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – –
So there's a Fury attempted that got censured, then the Edict got censured also, is that what I'm seeing?
Correct.
So that's 3 censures drawn by Grody, really strong.
Yeah. And 16 cards. It's good. Good luck
It
there.
does feel really bad using your censures on like not expensive cards like Mono or Fate Worse Than Death. So maybe this isn't the fight you're supposed to pick. I'm not sure, because your censures are going to be live for the rest of the game probably with this Palace.
I think he really wants to get this for Greater Glory off.
It's not even that good though, right? Like it keeps these guys around, but they don't have any abilities. I don't know.
And Void is on the table with Fate. So even then, with Mono No Y and a 1 Void ring, his board will wipe anyways. Either way, it looks like both players are willing to commit more to this conflict. I think it's hard to have that many cards in hand and not want to use them.
That's fair.
I like seeing Ready for Battle here with favorable ground on board. It effectively turned his Fate Worse Than Death into a Way of the Scorpion, since LBB was already blanked with Cloud the Mind. Just does knock the Fate off, but if Grody had a Legion of One, he was remiss not to use it before the favorable ground, as I don't know if he has any other mill pumps in his deck, aside from one Way of the Line. And he gives up the break.
You're gonna see the Forgritter Glorifier here, or I mean, you might as well, right?
Yeah.
It's probably this board's probably gonna get monoed if I had to guess. He has 10 cards in his hand with 2 in deck. But Breaking Pilgrimage is very nice.
I think even if this board does get monoed, it's perfectly fine. Still avoiding the rings with Fate. That I think feels wrong. I think he snatched the money off the air ring, equalized the Fate at 6-6.
Agreed.
You want to load the board back up if you do get monoed.
Well, the thing is, getting this keeper doesn't really help you because it's just gonna get monoed also.
Unless he's looking to honor the Prodigy to turn on Voice of Honor.
Oh, that's fair. But we've seen Assassination come out, so that doesn't matter.
Does he have his 1 Ageless Crone?
That'd be pretty sick.
Nope. Got the 3 Centaurs, but not the 1 Ageless. And, yep. We see why taking the money and running anytime there's 2 Fate on a ring, there's not a super impactful ring, is almost always the better choice. The honor pool's still decent. Hand sides are still not too far off. Fate totals are close, and no province is broken. We could be in for a very long one.
I mean, I think that's pretty much a given with Chris's deck.
Right on
Because
time, Spirit Collar, and no more Cloud the Mines. LPB,
yeah, that's a
Jockey
sick flop, right?
in the graveyard. I buy Spirit Collar with all of the Fate. 2 is fair though.
I probably would have gone 3. You could even 4, right? Like honestly, what are they gonna do?
Yeah. I mean, the game's gonna last a pretty long time, and you have more targets in the yard than you could ever hope to use. 2 Ujiakis, LPB, Honor General, AG. It's like Grody blinked in the game of chicken first in the bid 5-4.
Interesting that Grody decides to bid 3 here.
If I were him, I'd be thinking about how I possibly lose this game. And with no provinces broken and a perfectly safe Spirit Collar with a stacked graveyard, I think one of the only ways you do lose is to dishonor.
That's
So
fair. We see your Jimbo and no fate here. Yeah, another reason to fade up your Spirit Collar more is to protect against mana.
last thing you want is a Void Ring and a Mono Noire to take away a beastly Spirit Collar with a stacked graveyard in one
Agreed.
turn. With 2 Fate on it, I think we certainly see Void here.
Yeah, Oliver Redtail. That's pretty much why I grabbed Bill to help me with this cast. One, I'm kind of tired, and two, Bill is the lion player right now. I don't understand these stats. These stats don't seem very balanced to me. So I can't really speak to it.
Looks like he's decided to go fishing for Shameful, or no, he already found Shameful. Art of War or Feast of Famine.
Finds Art of War here. That's a pretty good hit for Grody.
I think he would have preferred to hit Feast or Famine for sure. Contesting Air Ring. This is interesting. I no defender pass immediately.
You just don't care, right?
No, I take my 3 cards, and I take my Void Ring.
That's fair.
Currently in no danger of losing to Dishonor, and the way you're going to win is not through Dishonor yourself. So you care about none of this. And we see the no defender pass. This shows where I would have been much happier buying the LPB over the Magistrate, however, since Spirit Coloring Ujiaki is much less attractive with a Magistrate on board.
That's fair.
At least for a Scorpion. Against Crab or something, then yeah, hallelujah, buy the Magistrate. I once had a conflict against a Crab player where we had like 7+ characters on board each, all involved in an all-in military conflict, spent all of our hands, and at the end I just Spirit Collared in the Magistrate and
Oh, and it's
gave
just like
one military buff, and I broken for Greater Glory.
that's pretty sick.
Choosing to go for Secret Cache. And choosing Fire instead of Void. That is true, Tenerum. Shameful would be very bad for Magistrate to hit, and you don't want to give up the Fate for free. And plus, at this point, Scorpion probably has every card that they could possibly want, aside from Cloud the Mind, which they're not allowed to draw anymore because they're in its graveyard.
That's fair. And if they do, we will have an issue.
So he goes with making the General, which is fair. One of the few cards that does synergize ridiculously well with Magistrate.
Agreed. Buffs the Magistrate and can still count.
So at the very least, Scorpion will have to invest 2 cards to stop this. And if they invest Fate Worse Than Death, then they're not going to catch a Ko this turn. Oh, good point, Handsome Dan. General turns on Voice of Honor.
Oh, that's true. For this conflict, which is probably what you need it for.
Oh, wow. We're seeing another counter war.
So, Voice of Honor cancels Way of the Scorpion, which then cancels the Forged Edict. Wow.
Another triple counter fight.
Usually the person who initiates has the advantage, but in this scenario, having the second counter, he goes over the top.
Both hands are still huge.
Grody passes, still breaking. Grody's challenging fire again. Is he just gonna honor onto the spirit collar? So he just sits there? Oh wow, but then we see a fury. Womp womp.
No ready for battle, but we have a katana.
Yeah, not having it ready for battle. He's played one, and he hasn't seen a second one in the top half of his deck. Kind of unlucky.
He's seen 5 counter spells. I think that's luck
fair.
enough.
That's fair.
Do not like these conflict characters with no fate. It's strict card disadvantage to do that. At least for any conflict character that costs more than 1 fate. Did he forget that Adept is irrelevant against Magistrate?
Maybe not. I don't know. I definitely think he should notice this.
Has he used Sinister Soshi yet? He did. So the, second katana was not irrelevant. He needed the katana to threaten break.
Oh, we see a debate come out though. But they're tied. So, oh no, they're not. It's Soshi'd, so he's at 0. Why do you bid 3 if you're Grody here? Oh, if he bids 1, you win. That's greedy. Maybe you should. As you either bid 1 or 5.
1, you tie.
Oh, you won to tie? Yeah, then I hate that bid.
Yeah, I think you either go 4 or 1. And I would much prefer to go 1 here.
Yeah, agreed.
Hands are big enough that he has a voice of honor. In that case, I don't know. That seems like a questionable bid. Either you voice of honor it, or you 1-bid it if you're okay with him taking away your voice of honor, and take whatever incremental honor you can. Nine cards and 6 fates still with Scorpion. Plenty of options. I don't think we've seen a let go from him yet. We've seen 1. 1 let go, 1 calling in favors. So that above question could easily get discarded, and then Magistrate Fate Worse Than Death. Now that the path is clear, there are no more counter spells in Grody's deck.
That's true. We haven't seen a single Fate Worse Than Death yet, so.
We've seen 1.
He
did it on LPB last turn.
Oh, sure.
With the ready for battle, favorable ground back in, that whole shtick. Which is a downside to using ready for battle on Fate Worse Than Death. Let goes a katana instead. Interesting. I think you're okay with this as Grody. You don't have a For Greater Glory in hand. You haven't invested too much compared to the Scorpion in this, and a small one's fine. Having this keeper is pretty huge as well, since Kachiko won't be able to break Shameful by herself without more investment, since first action Shameful will dishonor her. I don't love this defense by Grody here. I think you, well, you don't want to risk Kachiko dropping into the fight, so I'd probably hold off on activating Shameful. That is a good question about why the general is still there. It should have been placed on the bottom of the deck.
Oh, I don't know how to manually fix this. Let me let Jadiel know.
Yeah, Jigoku is currently bugged.
Is there a way to put something on the bottom of the deck?
I don't believe so.
Fortunately, Jadiel's still around, so I'm messaging him right now. You want to let the players know that to... Actually, we should probably figure out how to... So we see another policy debate between the Keeper Initiate and the Liar. See Fate Worse Than Death calling in favors for shame, Court Games Mono, and a debate. Maybe you take the Scorpion players debate here.
I would take the Fate Worse Than Death.
That's fair.
With 3 feet on Kachiko, they're not playing anything else this turn.
Well, it depends on your hand, right? Like, you're just gonna get, you're gonna get policy debated now?
You already got policy debated this turn. Generally, the second one is worse.
That's fair.
Nobody takes the debate. Interesting. No more counter spells in my deck. I'd rather get rid of a Fate Worse Than Death while I can. And here we see the fact that he didn't contest Void is really coming to bite him. He's going to lose this Void conflict.
Should we just have this player put the general in the graveyard for now, and then...
Yeah.
I don't know how we should figure this out.
Easiest way is to just have him not use the general again, and if it gets to the point where he needs to be placed into the deck, we can just put him in there and shuffle.
One second, I'm gonna ask Jadiel if there's a way to manually put a guy on the bottom. Oh, apparently there isn't without looking at your deck, unfortunately. So, yeah, let's wait. The general didn't go on the bottom. Make sure you don't call it. Hopefully it's not relevant, but until that time comes, we will keep playing. Yeah, there's only one in the bin, so it's pretty easy not to call him.
So a couple things went sideways for Lion here that he could have avoided. But a big stand your ground mitigates a lot of that.
I think he's on 2 stand your grounds.
Perhaps that's why he took the policy debate away,
That
to
makes
avoid
sense.
losing the stand your ground.
That makes sense. He still has 1 voice of honor left, right? No, he's used them all and all the censures. Never mind.
Did you see Fate on an Earth Ring?
We do indeed see 3 faded on an Earth Ring. I can only imagine Grody will be going there.
And hands and honor totals are much lower.
You could 1 bid here.
Favor.
Do you want a 1 bid here?
I think I still 3 bid. Maybe even 4. So what I'd look to do is military Earth with the magistrate, call in an LPB, and hopefully buff the LPB's mill enough to bow Ketchiko. Scorpion is out of Furies, so their only answers will be the one Fate Worse Than Death that they can afford to play this turn. And the nice thing is, if he Fate Worse Than Deaths either the Magistrate or the Brawler, he turns on Legion of One.
That's true. Looks like Grody just DC'd for a second.
And he's back. As nice as Fire and Water, or even Void are here, 3 Fate on a ring is just too much. We saw 3 to 3. There we go. Let's do some military earth into meditations. In fact, I think it's best to not even use a spirit caller at all here until Scorpion invests significantly into the conflict.
That's fair.
Preferably with Fate Worse Than Death. So then you call in the LPB, give it some Legion of One love, and bow Kachiko.
Reasonable.
Commits Kachiko on defense. I'd be fine passing here. Using Kachiko for the turn to accumulate 1 glory on defense and stop an Earth Ring is a perfectly good use of the Magistrate for the turn.
That's fair.
And then you can invest in stopping a Water Ring from Scorpion to attempt to stand her. Because I don't think Scorpion can win a military conflict against this Lion board. I like this as well, with the above question. Legion of One threatens to win the Earth Ring. Once again, Magistrate blank showed you. Wasted charge.
I don't know if he's just not reading this Magistrate or what.
I mean, at least the last time with the Adept of Shadows, he could have potentially just been doing it to set up that policy debate he got, since Magistrate's political was 0.
That's fair.
But this time, he had a 9-pull Kachiko, and the Magistrate is above questions and can't be debated anyways. So this charge is just, I think, objectively wrong. Yeah, I like this. Now just use LPB to bow rumor monger. And I think no matter what happens, you're well ahead for this conflict phase between Yujaki and the Honored Keeper Initiate.
JDL's trying to fix the server, so that's why it keeps kicking him. I think Oliver Redtail, I'm pretty sure there's only, I think there's no adepts left, or sorry, Yojimbos left. I'm pretty sure he's on 2 Yojimbos and we've seen them both.
That is correct. He's on 2 Kachiko, 2 Informant, 2 Yojimbo, 1 Cunning, 1 Adept.
And looking at the conflict discard here, we do see both Yojimbos here.
And he did not elect to return the Adept to his hand, so that is gone.
He's at 7 cards in conflict. So the game's about to get to the point where both players just stop drawing a lot of cards. So Soshi gives Brawler -2/-2.
Grody, you just Stronghold here, and Brawler will still be able to bow Rumor Monger.
That's true.
Looks like Grody's all over it. I don't like this defense with Kachiko at all. Being ahead on breaks, I think you let this one go.
And
Break back yourself.
Yeah.
And try to race on the Stronghold. Honored Kachiko is your win condition with this deck.
Agreed.
You don't win by defending. You're not Crab.
And Crab only wins by defending because they can outlast you. Like, winning on defense in this game still doesn't actually win you the game.
And unbow all their dudes with
Witch Hunter?
Witch Hunters and put Watch Commander in every conflict once Honor and cards are low. And just grind it out.
Yep.
It's an incredibly powerful conflict for Lion right here. Scorpion's going to need to commit multiple for shames. Oh, he can't.
Yeah, the
Above question.
Yeah, above question.
So he'll need to commit a card to get rid of the above question, and then multiple for shames, in order to just win an Earth Ring on defense.
Also, the fact that he's going to Meditations, I would definitely let it break. Meditations is the province you want dead.
Yeah, your last 2 are Shameful and Secret Cache. I would love to let them pick their poison on either of those. A lot invested to lose on defense, and he loses the Fate Worse Than Death out of hand.
Wow, that's so good.
That's vicious. So we need to see a Meek Informant.
Yeah, above question's pretty legit, Zergling. The only current problem with above question is it doesn't stop provinces or character abilities, which is its main downfall, obviously. But against decks that try to interact mostly with events, it's obviously insane.
I mean, stopping Fury, Fate Worse Than Death, Policy Debate, For Shame.
It stops court games also, we found out. Or I found out.
That's sick.
I found that one out the hard way.
Now that is right, because even though they choose the target, it is
It's
your
still
event,
yeah, it's
so
still
it
a
can't.
target. Yeah.
I think it wouldn't let you play it though. It would just
It wouldn't let me play it.
yeah, it would be illegal to
let
play.
me play it to honor
Okay.
my guy, but once you've selected it to play, it just gives you the option.
Okay.
So I played it, and then it only gave me the option to honor my guy, and I was like, oh, well, this is how to find out. So I was able to walk that back, because, like in a tournament, for instance, I would just say, court games, dishonor your guy, and then once told that doesn't work, I tried to make an illegal play, so it would just be rewound. Reasonably. We're not sure what would happen at FFG. I'd probably get a game loss.
Definitely game loss.
I mean, I did something illegal. I must be trying to cheat.
I like this. Grody's getting a little frisky, putting some pressure on, threatening a break on Shameful. Worst case scenario, a Meek Informant or something drops in and fires it off. I think you're fine with that. Contest the Void Ring to protect a Spirit Collar. This is very, very quickly starting to steamroll in Line's favor. Court game followed by Ornate Fan pressing the issue. Scorp down to 5 cards in hand. I feel so safe in this situation. Calling in favors on the fan.
Interesting that he chooses not to steal the above question when he probably could have interacted then.
He could have. He could have calling in favored followed by Fate Worse Than Death.
I
It
think
would not be ideal, but so we have favor, we have Ujiaki, we have one Fate Worse Than Death in the entire Scorpion's deck remaining.
and they're not going to be drawing very many cards per turn now.
And Lion, I think, can still find an above question. Yes, one above question remaining. The one saving grace, the Scorpion didn't give up or break. They're still ahead and can win a race, but they have to start committing to doing that. I actually think AG is incredibly powerful in this position, since Scorpion has to attack you political if they want to hope to resolve their first choice of ring and to threaten breaks.
That's true.
The threat of trying to poke military first and allowing Lion to military attack you, Spirit Collar and LPB, and bow your threat is severe.
Well, Hiroe, interesting that he buys Shoju instead of Hiroe, where Hiroe could have pulled the Spirit Collar and forced it to activate on defense.
I might have even liked buying Hero No Fate. Well, no, Manicured Garden's safe to attack. You don't need to go after Feast or Famine. So, yeah, buy Hero with Fate. Go after Manicured with Kachiko Hero,
Do you
pull
just
in
buy
Spirit
Satoshi
Collar.
2 Fate here too and just fold the board? Chooses not to?
I think he has a lot of things in hand to spend Fate on. Multiple guard duties, possibly another Sashimono. I think he's only played one so far.
Yeah, that's true.
Very likely he has one here.
One of the brawlers can't be brought back, correct? He's used Spirit Collar on brawler in general now.
Yes. So he has another brawler left he can do, as well as Ujiaki twice if this one ever dies. And a magistrate should a conflict get weird.
I'm just gonna keep this in a notepad here. Make sure no one does anything illegal. I don't want to have to give any retroactive game losses. Man, this is just the meme that keeps writing itself.
I feel the worst for the Shogun in that situation.
No, I feel the worst for Heinzel.
Heinzel's was more brutal being the stage of the tournament,
Yeah,
but
that's
I
why.
think his infraction was substantially worse.
I think both. Actually, I don't even know. Like honestly, the cleanup phase, it's one of those things that like both players. I feel like I don't know. For activating an ability twice is also pretty bad.
It is.
It's the reason that I think it's bad is because it's on the same vein of it skirts the line for. Obviously, I'm not accusing the Shogun or Heinzel of doing it. I think neither did it purposely, but those are types of things that skirt the line for people who are dishonest, who like activate their province a second time just to see if your opponent's paying attention. It's like, and then if your opponent calls you on, it's like, oh no, my bad, I forgot. Like, you know what I mean?
I do. It's super sketchy, potentially.
Like it's a lot of these free roll cheats that you basically run, and you know if your opponent, that's why like in Magic for instance you would just call a judge if your opponent tried to do something illegal and they would get a warning, and so all these things are tracked, so your opponent can't just run this free roll cheat against everybody basically. It's like you just run it against your opponent, and if they catch you once, it's it's not worth anything. And then if you get away with it, then it's a huge advantage. So we see EG with a guard duty coming up here.
I think we see EG get another guard duty. Or is that allowed?
Uses guard duty, uses for shame to dishonor EG. No, what do you mean? She has the one.
No, I mean, can you attach a second one and use the second one on the same character?
It's a different card. I don't see why not. The action is on the guard duty itself.
Yeah, I think I would do it. You don't want to risk Way of the Scorpion or Court Games knocking out a 7 Fate investment.
Agreed. Spirit Caller calls Satoshi. Interesting. Is that his best choice, really? It looks like it, actually.
I suppose he's trying to win this?
Second guard duty would be pretty sick. How often does a character get 2 guard duties?
Yeah, I don't like defending with AG here, because if he gets a Fate Worse Than Death, you don't get your free Bushi. And I like free LPBs. Yep. Fate Worse Than Death murders AG.
Really unfortunate here. A lot of fate invested there. We saw what? She's a 4, right? So 6, 7 fate.
Yeah.
Yeah, we see the ouch come off here from Grody. Yeah, he got shoju'd. Yeah, indeed, handsome Dan. This is why people normally don't stand in front of shoju. You you stand on the train tracks and you get killed.
I think the much better line, since he's contesting water, if you don't have the ready for battle, is to just defend with the spirit collar, and if he threatens to kill it, just activate it, grab your Satoshi, and still prevent the break.
That's reasonable. Alright, let me add Satoshi to this list of things that you can't call back. Yeah, handsome Dan. It's not quite a bug. Shoju really just does kill people. I miss the times when Scorpion players just stopped buying Shoju for whatever reason. Made it real easy to play against them. Didn't really have to think.
Yeah, I think basically everything that's happened here so far could have very easily also have occurred if he just defended with Spirit Collar, except he'd still have an AG sitting there on board. But the good news is there's no more fate worse than death. Scorpion is on 3 cards, and all of their good cards are gone.
Well, all you have to do is weather the storm here. We see another Grody come out here on Satoshi.
Yep. Stops the break.
I bet you that I bet you Grody just didn't know the interaction. Maybe he just didn't think the second guard duty would work. Oh wait, no, you play the guard duty and then you die, so it doesn't matter. Yeah. Because playing the guard duty is an action.
Interesting mono.
What did it remove fate off of? Just Ujiaki?
Yep.
I don't like that trade.
Well, now he can bow Ujiaki when he resolves his water ring.
That's fair. Actually, that's not bad then.
But Grody can still go military fire, and unless he defends, he's getting 2 keepers and dishonoring Kachiko, and she's not going to threaten anything military.
Yep, she can't threaten anything military. How many Miyamoto series have been played?
All 3 Furies, all 3 Fate Worths. I think 2 or 3 for Shames, both monos.
Yeah, so he has to defend basically is what I'm hearing. You just attack meditations military fire.
Yep. Trying to avoid a potential blow up of this game.
Oh yeah, so no, actually, yeah, that's. I completely forgot about the potential to activate him. I've just been letting them clean him up properly, but you could accidentally click him or something, and then the game would just be foobarred, as the kids say. I don't know what he's thinking about here. Maybe he's being tempted by the Void Ring. I think that's a mistake.
I do too.
I think not attacking is also a mistake. Wait, Scorpion could have a assassination still. Correct? I think they've only played
I
one.
think so, but I think Lion has only played one charge this. No, he's played two charges.
Yeah,
So
Scorpion does have an assassination potentially. I think you take the risk anyway. I think you
he does
military
go
fire.
void. That's ballsy.
I
I would
would.
prefer fire personally, but I can respect void if you're not afraid of giving up this last break and you think you can hold stronghold. But I'd rather not walk that tightrope.
Do you want to? I don't think you activate your stronghold here. I think you leave meditations up. What do you think? I think you're. Oh no, we see three. We see three honor B disappear. We see the assassination come out. That's the other. That's the other reason going fire is better, right? Because you get the chance to get a fate if this goes sideways.
Would have been amazing to see the little crone drop in, get the stronghold buff, and win that ring.
That would have been awesome.
Little grandma takes down Shoju.
Well, so here's the thing. Scorpion's on 2 honor now, and they have 4 cards in conflict deck, so we have a timer on this game for sure.
Yeah, I think they're forced to go air here.
We could see fire. Nope, goes air. You
Zero
could fire honor
4.
Shoju.
She dies, and we'll give him up to 5, but he'll be second player.
He'll also not be able to
We
stronghold.
haven't seen Totori's yet.
If he gains 2, he won't be able to steal. So if you, and then if you steal 1, it doesn't work either. Oh yeah. Zergling's saying, imagine if that was air conflict, and he had the crone right, then the assassination comes out. We do see a charge to prevent the break, actually.
I would have much rather seen the charge to win on offense.
Yeah, I agree.
Especially after that came off, UO to put you down to 1.
Yeah, maybe that's why you're supposed to challenge air.
Air or fire would have been
Yeah,
equally relevant, I think.
agreed.
Both take 1 honor from the Scorpion. Except fire gives you keepers and a fate.
Oh, and he has a Legion of
Strictly
one
better.
too? Wow.
Yeah, I would have rather seen that all on offense, on the fire ring.
Agreed. The keepers also let you declare a second conflict and
Yeah,
threaten
so you
threaten dishonor.
Political air to dishonor out, so he's forced to mill fire you.
Yep.
With a 3/6 Kachiko, just to deny you the ring.
Well, no, you'd have to do fire on your attack.
Or should hold back for defense.
No. So for him to get the keepers right, you do mill fire with the berserker, and then if your guy gets assassinated, you charge Satoshi, you get your keepers, and then he has to do air, he has to do mill air, and then you can just defend with you don't even have to defend. You can defend with the keeper and play Legion of One actually.
Yep.
And that gives you
Actually
enough
win the conflict.
Yeah, you win the conflict, and then your keeper gets a UO void probably.
And then you win the game.
Yeah, pretty much.
Instead, we get another turn, but Lion is still in the driver's seat, even with the Shoju on board. Especially since there's so many good flops left for Lion. Any Spirit Collar is just gross here.
Scorpion
There
does
should be two
use
more.
back alley hideaway to grab Kachiko again.
And here comes Totori.
Toturi, we see Honor General.
Totori is first player with 2 Fate on firing.
Yeah, do you buy Deathseeker just to join the attack?
I think there's literally nothing you're afraid of Scorpion doing to you to stop you from winning your military conflict.
Oh, if he has a Sashimono here, that'd be dope, right?
Yeah. Honor Totori, Sashimono. Have a 9/6 and 3 conflicts this turn.
Most likely 2, because he'll get pulled into a political conflict by Hiroe.
Fair.
Yeah, Firesa, Kingsley definitely did not appreciate some of the plays Grody was doing. He was like cheering for. It's like when your sports team does something stupid, right? Like, you know, if you're a Seahawks fan and they throw the ball on second down instead of running it. Like, I imagine you were probably very angry.
There are a lot of lines I would have done very differently, but I can respect how difficult it is to play in this situation. I've
That's fair.
certainly screwed up in this spot, my fair share, probably more.
All on video, by the way, folks, on my YouTube channel.
Yes, you want to watch me punt to Widwin and Soto the last two cups.
Yeah,
Check it out.
I was pulling for you, dude, too. Like every one of those casts, definitely biased. I'm not joking. Is it-
Sashimono in hand.
He has two Sashimonos actually. So if he goes fire, he'll have 4 fates, so he'll be able to play them both. We see a fallen in battle also, so nobody can stand to Totori here.
Now that he's revealed your hand, I think you go with both.
Oh yeah, Oliver Redtail is for Dream. I completely forgot. I completely forgot that's who you are. It's very odd when people's Twitch handles are not the same or even close to their Discord handles. He attacks Secret Cache.
Wants him to dishonor faster. I
Yeah,
like it.
yeah. I wonder if he'll choose. He just knows there's no possible way that that Scorpion can defend this.
And I don't think he cares what card could Scorpion possibly get at this point that's going to matter.
Do you even activate Secret Cache? It doesn't look like he has activated it, or he's thinking. Because
He has no first names left.
It is a
Yeah.
trigger.
One Wave of Scorpion left. Yeah, I think the one Way of the Scorpion is the one relevant card that you care about in Scorpion's deck in any military conflict you initiate for the rest of the game. Maybe one charge?
City of Isaac reduces the cost. Are we gonna see charged Nice here? Just to not get you owed. Oh no, calling in favors. Sorry. Oh wait, never mind. Are both? We still have let goes / calling in favors available, right?
We do.
Actually, we only have one calling in favors available, so the second Sashimono will stick.
Yes, he plays 2 Let Go, and they're both gone.
Yeah.
So it's calling favors or bust.
How many keepers are available to him?
2.
So yeah, this is pretty sick, actually.
And Tori can honor himself, honor a keeper.
Do you double honor, or do you dishonor one of Scorpion's characters? Maybe Hiroe?
It is tempting.
Interesting that Grody plays the Fallen in battle. I don't think I would have. If your
you wanted to resolve it once this tournament.
Yeah, I guess if your opponent activates favored Nice, like, oh, Grody,
yes,
Grody chooses to.
Yeah,
Grody doesn't put his keepers into play before triggering Toturi. So probably gonna see dishonor on Hiroe if I had to guess.
Yes.
Yeah, and there it is. Keeper 1, keeper 2. If I'm Grody, I just don't block on this next attack here.
Yeah. Force Hiroe to use his ability onto Tori.
Is that an argument to block with Toturi then, so he doesn't get dishonored?
I don't think you mind it.
That's fair. Oh, cool. Kingsley's in chat. Hey, what's up, dude? Yeah, we think. I think RumHam is going to mill, and I think that's how the game is gonna end. Or Grody's gonna break a second on political here, and then we'll see a military in the stronghold. Let me find the last card for you, Farisa. The hand is Court Game Sashimono Fan. So yeah, we could very easily see a break on political here. I don't even know if RumHam can break on political. if you just defend with Toturi, Scorpion can pull in a keeper. You fan the keeper. No, but then he dies to calling in favors. Is that it? Does that matter though? I don't know. I'm not sure how I would play this conflict.
It's hard. I mean, you don't want to concede in this position, but I feel like Scorpion's lost.
Yeah, that's
Basically,
fair.
no matter what they do. I don't think they're in a position to win in the next 2 turns, and they are going to die after 2 turns.
I'm sitting here trying to cut 4 cards from my Highlander deck. Have you ever heard of this format?
Commander?
No, it's not Commander. It's called Canadian Highlander. It is 100 card singleton. There is a so anti cards, dexterity cards are all banned. Shahrazad is banned, and then they're all power 9 like in tutors and stuff have a certain points value, and you get 10 points to basically build your deck. So like the Moxes are all 3 points. Black Lotus is 7. Ancestry Recall 7. You know, yeah, it's incredibly fun. You know, Time Walk 6, Tinker's 4, like, so they basically pointed out all of these insane cards, and so you just build a high, so it's basically all the cool parts of a commander, except, you know, you get to play 1v1 Magic instead.
Nice.
I've not heard of Australian Highlander, Farisa, but I mean, I'll look it up. Like, this is half the reason that I've never stopped playing Magic, is there's 17 million different formats. There was a new format we came up, or that I read about. You open up a booster pack, and then you have to build 5 3-card decks to play against your opponent. You both do so. You alternate play draw, and you have infinite mana. You draw 1 card per turn just like normal, and then you have to deal 20 damage to your opponent. If the match ends in a natural draw, the person who went second wins. It is super fun. It's really hard to build your decks. Like, you have to basically like figure out how you want to do it. It's the person who takes 3 best of 5, right? So if you win 3 of the 5 pack wars, you win. Oh, Australian is 7 points. Okay. Yeah, okay. So this is very similar to Canadian Highlander. You guys have the Australian Highlander list has a lot more cards at 1 point. But yeah, this is pretty much the same thing, Farisa, as Canadian Highlander.
I'm trying to figure out what the last 4 cards Scorpion has are. We've got
It's calling in
Court
favors.
Games, Kachiko. No, both callings are spent. Right? Yes.
I only see one above the Adeptus Shadows. Where's the second? Oh, it's next to the. Yep, cool. Both callings are spent. So it's the second copy of Kachiko. He has one under the back alley hideaway right now.
So there's a Kachiko and a Court Games. I can't figure out what the other 2 are. Does he have an Edict left?
Yes. I only see 2 edicts in here.
Okay, Edict. And then the last one is...
Charge, I think?
No, he's got all 3 charge. Tunnian Magistrate. Here we go.
Oh, yep, the 1x conflict character he doesn't have.
And all of those cards do little to nothing to help him win a conflict.
Yep, Cutting Magistrate can, though.
Court Games is nice too.
Yeah, Farisa, both players pass conflicts here. Or sorry, Grody passes second conflict. And then we see a political conflict coming out here, and we just see a defense by everybody. Both the keepers are going to get murdered unless Grody does something.
I think you're fine with keepers getting murdered.
So maybe Court Games.
Stop the break.
You could Court Games on one of your keepers, though. Yeah, he has a fan and a Court Games, so probably.
Love to see calling in favors.
No,
those are gone.
Yeah,
all the calling in favors, all like those are gone.
So probably kills the other keeper now. At worst, it just puts the keepers off cycle. Yeah.
Sometimes I like having my keepers off cycle. I feel like I can get value regardless
Probably
of
see court
whether I
games
have one
here.
in play or not.
Honor your keeper, and then you're winning the conflict. If you can keep Scorpion off of 5, you'll be able to dishonor them. You're just digging for a spear caller at this point. He still has 2 more, right?
He does. And he'll, I think, has another Bayona, which won't be hard to trigger.
Yeah, Handsome Dan, or not Handsome Dan, Firesa, I'm building a blue-black artifact control combo deck. It's got all of the combos that you can do with artifacts. It's got Painter Grindstone, Time Vault Key.
He court games for Dishonor instead.
Interesting. I guess this cancels out the A-Ring. Thopter's Sword, all that stuff.
Yeah, I think even if he court
hits me
gamed,
with the EU.
he would go up to 11. Soju would drop him back to 10, so he'd
He
be
can't. I don't.
losing
Yeah,
regardless.
maybe he figured the court games wouldn't help him win. This gives him a dishonor at least. So this still puts him to 5. This puts RumHam at 5 still. Right. So if he court games, he goes up to 11. Shoju drops you to 10. Right. So there's just no way.
Yeah. As long as he stays at 5 or below, he is on a very nasty clock.
Smart play here by RumHam to pull the Death Seeker, so it's gonna dishonor out.
Yep. His Hail Mary will be to somehow dishonor Lion before he dies to it himself.
Yep.
He'll have this turn and potentially one more if Lion doesn't get something done. But the fact that Scorpion's retaining the favor. Oh no. Grody takes it.
Yeah, he has the.
The Sashimono.
Yep.
Wait, wasn't that a political attack?
Wait. Yeah. Wait. Tote. Shouldn't have been standing. Sashimono's bugged too. God. This is just great QA. Is there a way to pass favor? I'm messaging Jadiel this. Man, good thing as judges we're actually paying attention and making rulings immediately instead of letting stuff go through. Like characters with no fate being left on the board. Oh, okay, cool. Do you remember what the do you remember what it was on for Scorpion?
Let me check. I want to say political. It was political because he had Shoju plus Yogo, who is dishonored, is 9 plus 1 from favor is 10, and he was at 10.
Handsome Den says mill.
No, it's definitely political.
Okay. The command is claim favor. RumHam says mill and Handsome Dan saying mill. Oh, Meek Informant. Did you count the Meek Informant?
Oh, the Meek Informer's in. Oh, you're right. Military.
Claim
My bad.
Claim
My bad.
favor.
Forgot Meek.
Military. I think. Should be fine. Should do it. Try that. No dash. Handsome Dan, write exactly what I need to type. so I can just copy and paste it. No dash. What dash? What dash does he need? You guys, all right, chat. I need specific answers. Oh, okay. No dash on the military. I see. Haha, we did it. All right, cool. All right, cool. Well, one more thing for JDL to QA. See, Grody is great for QA testing because he plays all these idiot cards. Oh, Scorpion flips 4 holdings.
Ouch.
Yeah, so...
At least they have Kachiko under City of Lies, and a Cutting Magistrate that they 75% chance have in their hand.
Tenorem, a card can be an idiot card while still being cool, or interesting, or, you know, not out of the ordinary, but it's still an idiot card. I'll use a different term. It's a banana card. I use the term banana to describe a lot of things. Yeah, Tenorem plays all banana cards in his decks. His Tall Guy Lion is a banana deck. Grody has taken up the mantle of Banana Lion. Does that make you feel better, Tenorem? Tenorem hits me with a not really. What do you mean, sorry, for Dream, what do you mean? How does Mill Earth kill the Scorpion? You can just choose not to... You can just choose not to resolve it.
I don't think you get a choice if Totori activates.
Oh, sure, but... I don't understand, like, he's just not going to attack military?
Yeah.
But yeah, if Totori is there and he attacks military Earth and Totori wins, Totori can force the ring to resolve. I don't foresee that happening.
But he has to try to draw with the zero.
You don't get a double trigger for Dream. You don't get a double trigger. You just get the first trigger on defense. You only get a double trigger on attacks. On defense, the defending player can choose to act to reaction with Totori and force the ring to be played. Well, I don't understand how the Earth Ring kills the Scorpion player. The Scorpion player doesn't draw any cards from the Earth Ring. Only you draw cards.
So you defend with Totori and nothing else, because there's nothing Scorpion can do. And Totori doesn't bow.
Yeah. He just pulls a general. Doesn't really matter because Totori's not going to bow.
Wait, he defended with Totori and General? Okay.
I can't say I agree with that.
He wanted to super win this defense.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he can just do military of water, and then double resolve water to stand both your generals.
Seems fine.
Wait, why didn't Scorpion pull back with favorable ground?
I don't know.
All right. Yeah, you just get water and you just stand both your generals. You just attack meditations.
Yeah. Going from 3 fate to 2 matters nothing.
We see Grody winning. See, if Grody had saved that Fallen in battle, we could have seen Fallen in battle being played there.
That would have been sick.
How sick would that have been?
Someday I'll pull off like a sick, nasty
Interesting
unicorn
he chooses
splash,
to go Void
active
here.
audience,
I
fallen in battle
don't.
combo.
I don't agree with this choice of ring. I think there are just so many other... I think every other ring choice is better than Void.
I agree.
I think Water, Fire, and Earth are all better.
So we saved meditations to our favorable ground, rather, to
Not taken unopposed, I guess?
the one from unopposed. Which would have been about the same result whether he was bound or standing, to be fair. So now we buy Kachiko from...
Well, if he buys
Hideaway.
Kachiko and he attacks, I think Grody can actually... Because it's entrenched position, right?
Well, he still has to get another break.
No, he has 3. No, I'm talking about for Lion to break Stronghold.
Oh, yes.
Lion can
yes,
potentially
Lion can
break on
Stronghold on the
political.
counterattack. Yes.
Well, none of the rings had any downsides, Zergling. It's just the Void ring is just strictly the worst choice out of the 4.
The difference of Scorpion at 4 honor or 3 honor is pretty irrelevant when they're due to lose 5 honor.
Like, if you just did Water here, you could just threaten the break on the Stronghold with double Honor General coming in also. And then Kachiko has to play defense, and then the Scorpion player just has no way.
Yeah, I'd be threatening a 15 political attack. Good luck with that.
I thought Scorpion was going to get it, actually, but it turns out that, in the end, it wasn't enough.
I feel like going back to the turn where Palace and LPB came online for him.
Was the turning point?
Yeah, the fact that he came out of that turn well, even though it was a really weak turn for him in terms of what he could accomplish in conflict-wise. Scorpion didn't really punish him at all, and he didn't even lose a fate off the LPB. Took the favor with the Palace, and was able to build solid advantage every turn thereafter. So we'll get to win the Fire Ring and save the Dishonor on Heroi. At least this time we won't have Shashimono bugging with Totori since Kashiko bowed him. And Scorp will finally get her 3rd break.
Jadiel responds with, I really made a mess of things, huh? I'll just give him a heart to let him know that we still love him.
Oh, forever. He could break Jigoku for a month. He's still done more for this community than just about anybody.
Why does he
platform for
defend
us.
here with Totori? Why do you defend at all? Why don't you just threaten the Stronghold break?
Yeah. Even if he unoppose, he goes down to 1. Even if firing Dishonor something, the 2 honor generals will more than cancel it out. You just have to make sure you discard in the correct order.
Yep.
But I think, regardless, Line should be able to break on their military attack because they're all but guaranteed to flip Spirit Caller. And they'll have favor. So we'll have to keep an eye out when Dynasty gets low to have him put some of those characters from the yard back into his Dynasty deck.
Yeah.
Since once he's down to one Dynasty card, technically he'll, through looking at his yard and his deck list and what's in play, be able to intuit what that card is. Looking at it doesn't matter, so he can then
That's true.
reveal the deck and put things in the proper order on the bottom.
Yeah, we could just have him tell his opponent what it is too, just for fair play.
Yeah.
Oh wow, you have double spirit. It doesn't matter. The game's gonna be over. We're gonna see turn one a stronghold attack. We're gonna see a break here on mill. You just buy Spirit Caller LPV. I do appreciate you telling him though. I guess he can't Spirit Caller LPV. He just has to It's probably going to be Spirit Caller LPV Deathseeker or Spirit Caller Deathseeker. Oh, he has favor, right? So he can just use Ujiaki to get the brawler.
I think you just buy Spirit Caller LPB, and you just use both your Spirit Callers on Honor General.
You just Spirit Caller what?
You Honor Generals that you played last turn that died.
Sure.
And then you'll have, let me think here.
A billion.
So Dotori plus LPB.
No, Tenorim, Ujiaki won't kill him because there's actually 3 cards in his Dynasty deck that should be there.
Let's see, it's 9.
But yeah, just for clarity's sake, he should pull double General to make it easier on us.
First General will be worth 8, which will take him to 19, 20. Second one will be worth.
He might
9.
buy Deathseeker here also, just to have one more character, because if you're going to pull double General, Deathseeker is worth 4.
Yeah. 5 with Stronghold. So yeah, he can hit about 40 here, I think, if he buys the Deathseeker and double General.
Alright. He's probably going to see a Deathseeker buy here. He still has a Way of the Lion in his deck.
Yep, so that's 6 for Dotori, if he has that. But yes, if he... So the first thing he collared was General, followed by LPB, followed by Satoshi. So we should put Satoshi, LPB, General.
No, General should be... Oh, I see what you're saying. The first thing he called was the General.
Yes, so the General should be on top of those 3. So Satoshi should be on the bottom, because since that was the last thing, with LPB on top of that and General on top.
Jadiel joins and immediately says 9 turns, huh? Oh yeah, he has to... Wait. Yeah. Put Satoshi first. Yeah, he should put me as Satoshi, and then he should put LPB, and then he should put Honor General. Do you want to give... I don't know if he understands.
The only way that matters is if he...
Yeah, so if this doesn't break...
With, collaring in Ujiaki.
Yeah, if he... Yeah, if this doesn't break and he colors Ujiaki, I'll tell him to stop. If he colors Ujiaki, I'll just tell him to stop immediately, for posterity's sake.
But if he just goes general general, it's done. There's nothing Scorpion can do.
General is just a billion military. Like, I think the actual mathematical answer is a billion.
Yep, he's grabbing generals.
Man, Honor General is a pretty crazy card.
So general stronghold for a million. Good luck.
Yeah, each general is 6 by themselves, and then they're adding 3 other characters plus 2. So each general is 6. Death Seeker is 4, so that's 16. Brawler is 5, 21. Tesseri is 8, so 29. Oh, and the mill favor, of course, so 30. And then we're gonna see plus 5, so 35. That's pretty small, actually. I think he could. Advance through past conflict so Jadiel can see the error. Grody wants to continue. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, see? See? Generals don't leave. Do you remember what turn Sashimono didn't fire?
It was not last turn, but the turn before that.
So turn 7?
Did not bow from a political conflict.
Turn 7 didn't bow from Paul Khan.
Yeah, because it was turn 7 regroup phase, so we had to figure out the favor.
Oh, yep. That's true. Alright, cool. So that's going to be the game. That's going to be the cast, actually. I'm going to go ahead and let Jadiel work his magic, and hopefully everything will get fixed. Thanks for hanging out in chat, guys, and thanks to Bill for really carrying this cast. I definitely didn't have nearly as much to contribute as you did. So we'll have to
always happy to do it. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we'll have to do it again sometime.
For sure. And yeah, I'm super unbiased. Lion!
Alright, cool. That's going to be it for me. Everyone else have a nice night or day, depending on where you're at.